What this did was move yoga away from the lives of ordinary people and into secret schools and systems across India.
You see these two schools emerging. One which says yoga is about withdrawing from the world, withdrawing from Prakriti, rejecting Prakriti, and this whole notion of purification by not connecting with the world. So I isolate myself completely. And the other tradition, which is the Gorakh tradition, which is the tradition of yoga which is communicating with the world, talking to the world.
By the time the British colonized India from the 18th century onwards, yogis were seen as eccentric, dangerous madmen who lived at the edge of society and could do all kinds of magic and contortions. Indian Maharajas and the British rulers would regularly organize whimsical demonstrations of yogis and magicians, and India became known as the exotic land of mystical and magical powers.
When the Europeans came to India, they were surprised by the exotic. They wanted to understand this exotic creature called India. And that's when the 18th century, this exotic India manifests itself to satisfy the gaze of the master.
By the end of the 19th century, the word yoga had started to become well known in Europe and America through the work of the Theosophists and the arrival of Swami Vivekananda. He taught Americans the ideas behind Raja Yoga, and his little book became a Bible to all spiritual seekers and mystics in that period. In India, the Maharaja of Mysore was a great patron of yoga. His teacher was the legendary Krishnamacharya. Iyengar was his star student and gave most of the demonstration popularizing Hatha Yoga in Mysore and across India. In 1952, Yehudi Menuhin and Iyengar became good friends, and he arranged for Iyengar to demonstrate yoga in London, Zurich, Paris, and New York's Carnegie Hall. Audiences were amazed at Iyengar's yoga, and by 1966, he had published his first book called Light on Yoga. In the next few years, this became the Bible of the new yoga movement spreading around the world.
The West, because of the Greek influence, has always celebrated the body. It has celebrated exercise. And suddenly see these people who are also talking about the body, but in the complete opposite way. There's no conquest. In fact, it's the opposite of conquest, killing the urge to conquer. It just says, look inside. Calm down. Life is not so terrible. Sit down. Breathe. Your body has the answer, your breath has the answer, your mind has the answer. These are conversations that didn't happen before, and these executives are like, this is like manna from heaven.
I'm very happy that yoga, which was forgotten entirely, now, like mushrooms, it has come everywhere, and at least they have made a beginning, and I am sure when a beginning has been made, after touching the gross, probably they settle in the subtlest as time goes by.
Yoga has a profound effect on the human mind and body, and its healing powers have been known for over 2,000 years. It works not only on the joints, but also on the endocrine system, helping glands to function properly. The effects on the brain are also well documented. Today, scientists at India's NIMHANS are exploring the science of yoga and its effect on the brain.
This is one of the areas which have been recognized way back in the motto that alternative medicine, what we call as an alternative medicine, to be part of neurosciences and mental health. Apart from that, we also have an advanced center for yoga, which is about 5 years old.
We have examined the yoga effects on the brain using MRI. There are some areas of the brain which get better following yoga, and there are some situations wherein when chanting of Om happens, there are areas of the brain which are changed for the betterment of the individual.
When you keep chanting Om or any other thing, you read Quran, you read the Bible, when you keep reading it loud, you start resonating in your ears. From the ears, the electrical activity comes down and then it starts ascending up. Okay? As it ascends up, it causes a calming of it.
How yoga could help us in the management of patients, for example, in mental health disorders, what we talked about as the stress. The stress is one of the important area which is now causing a lot of problem in the global scenario.
Yoga is seen as a valid complementary practice to traditional medicine and is being recommended by doctors in India and around the world.
Mainstream medicine sends people to us for rehabilitation, for what they call stress, and therefore cannot put a finger on it beyond that, or even lifestyle diseases which don't have a cure really. So I think people want to choose yoga which gives them, they come and people will say that makes me feel good, that makes me feel calm.
So yoga, without soma there is no psycho, without psycho there is no soma, they go together. If you ask the word very chitta vritti nirodha, chitta is in the body, body is a form of chitta, a gross form of chitta. So psychosomatic science was used by Patanjali long ago without using the word psychosomatic science. So this contact of the body, which is no skeletal body in contact with the circulatory system is connected to the nervous system. When the nervous system is connected, which is known as the indirect unconscious mind. So when the nerves are strengthened, positive brain comes to them, positive thinking will come.
Today, over 20 million people practice yoga of some kind in America alone, and the phenomenon is spreading worldwide. In India, many advanced teaching and research institutions provide students and wellness seekers with access to some of the world's best teachers and practices in yoga.
I think yoga is something which is beyond a culture or a nation. As a country with a very rich and one of the richest heritages in the world, it is our responsibility to nurture it.
Suddenly people are looking inwards. The lotus has unfurled a little bit, so you're feeling a little bit more calmer, happier, seeing there's a value in the body talks to the mind, the breath talks to the mind. But come on, let's talk to the mind. The mind is still tight, and it's still aggressive, and the simplest example of it is this obsession with wanting to own yoga.
Having read lots of books on yoga, having practiced yoga, as far as my understanding goes, yoga is one, as people call God in different names, but he is one. Yoga is one, but as it branches off the trunk, so different people give it different names.
Yoga is a universal practice that brings you into balance and harmony with your life, no matter what religion or ethnicity you belong to.
Awareness and attention, when they come together, there is no movement of intelligence, there is no movement of mind. So there is a state where my body, my mind, my breath finds no differences at all. I'm living, even now, though I'm talking to you, even my warmth of my toe, I can feel how much warm it is. At that time, what happens? There is no movement, there is no thought. It's completely a state of forgetfulness of body and mind, but to be one with the cosmic energy and the individual energy meeting together.